This is a video by Doug Robbins. So he's actually in the USA. He's a truck driver, and he's in truck driver at Portland International Airport. Lives in Oregon, from Portland, Oregon. So I've actually seen quite a few of his videos, and they're all they're all real videos which he films. Nothing special, no glossy. So this is the video here. So this is filmed from his car. Some people have said it could be a can reflection on the inside, but when I've analysed it, it does not seem that way. There's a few orbs there. So there it is there. He seems to grab the camera and look up, and he sees a structure there, which some people said could be a can reflected from inside the car. But I noticed that object there. There's an orb there as well. Now that one disappears all of a sudden, and that seems to be cloaking. So we'll play the full video now. That seems to cloak. If that's a can, it just wouldn't do that. So let's go back and do it step by step, and I'll enlarge the pictures. There's something there as well. I'm not sure what that is. That shouldn't be just there. There's no pole connecting to that there as well. So let's just do this. There's something there as well which moves out of the area. There it is again. It could be a pole, but it doesn't seem to be joined to anything. I don't see anything joined to that object there. It moves very quickly over here. But there it is there. Now that object there is unusual, and there it is. So let's just do this step by step. That disappears. There's an orb up there. There's that orb there. One appears there. It looks like a can, but underneath you've got those processes. I don't see any plunger there that opens a can up. If there's a plunger, it should start from there and not produce those two things underneath. Let's go again. Now this is where it starts to... That object there is sticking down rather than a can. There's an object that looks like it's right underneath there. It's very hard to do this one. It's very tricky. I don't want to make mistakes. And there it is. It just disappears. But there you'll see the black hollow entrance of that rounded area. I'm not sure about this one. There's that orb right there. Disappears now. That object is nearly cloaking fully. And there it goes. So let's go back, have one more look at it. That object is right there. There's no connection to it. That pole has a connection. It's easy to see. So it isn't a pole. And that will disappear very soon. There it is. It flies off. Next, there it is. That we'll keep an eye on that object there as well now. That disappears. It's a very difficult one, this one. I'm not sure what to think about this one. I'll analyze the pictures now. These are the screenshots. I'm not sure what to make out of it. It just looks like a can top, but then it just seems to change shape too quick. And you see the entrance right there, that outside tubular structure, which I'll zoom in on. There's that object there. There's that object next to it. There it is there. I'll just zoom in a bit. There it is. Not sure what to think yet. It's a hard one. But here's a funny thing. If that's a can, it wouldn't have such a very circular ring around it. And when it cloaks, it actually becomes transparent. You can actually see through the rounded hollow area of that ring going around. So that's why it's unusual. You shouldn't see that if it's a normal reflection of car windshield. And there's that object underneath. So there's that ring around it. It's a very prominent one. That's why people say it could be a can that's just reflected, but it wouldn't have that cutting through and actually showing that area. And that seems to be some sort of a motor drive under it. Let's do it again. There it is. That area is opening up right in the structure there. Now that wouldn't be happening if it's only reflection. It's as though we're actually looking right through it. It's transparent. So there's that outer area, which is a tube, and there's that transparent hole right there. Let me see if I can just do that. That's better. We're going right into it now. And there it is. That whole area there seems to be transparent. Let's go back to these other pictures too and try to zoom in. There's that ring around it. Underneath, it's a very big white object. Let's zoom in it again. And let's zoom into that whole thing again, where you actually look into that hollow tube going across. It's actually an aperture that's opened up as it becomes transparent. Now that wouldn't happen if this is just a reflection. Reflections cannot open objects up to actually look right through them. That's why I think this could be legit. Once again, there's that object there. Now these objects are always accompanied by orbs and other things as well. That's perfect. You can see right into that hole there. Let's try to zoom into this picture. Do it very slow so I might lose it. That object there is sticking out of it. That is a legitimate UFO to me. I haven't seen that anywhere before caught like that. It just seems too sophisticated to be can. Look at that. It's like some sort of a motor drive or something right under it. There it is, just as it disappears. You just see the outer ring remaining. That's why a few people said it does look like reflection. There's that white orb on top. Let's try to zoom in on that one. Wow, look at that. It's as though there's objects underneath it that just are not plunges from a can. I don't know how a normal reflection through a windshield would actually just produce that sort of image there. Now, this one's a very good image. It shows objects coming down, big white objects. I don't think it's a can, or that isn't a hole in the plunger. I don't think so. One more. Very tricky. Don't know what to say about this one. That's the last piece before it disappears. If it's a can reflection, it wouldn't do it step by step, and you wouldn't see the hollow area as though it's cut through in that rim as well. I'm just thinking about that, obviously. I think it could be the real thing. That's a great image. Look at that. That shows a very definite object coming out from underneath. Again, that's a very clear white object hanging down. There it disappears and it's gone. The image that I like the best is this one. In a reflection, you just wouldn't see the inside of that tube going around it. It wouldn't be transparent. It would actually just be part of the reflection and cut out. You wouldn't see that opening up, and that's why I was very surprised to see that right there. Very surprised to see that happening. There. That's actually looking right into that. And there's that orb up there. I'll actually do one more zoom. It's got like two eyes and a mouth, but that image there isn't a normal cloud. So that's why I'm thinking, well, it could be correct because I would rarely see that. It's as though the orb takes up that space right there, which is darker, and it just leaves the image there. There it is there. And there's that white object right next to which disappears in the video.